What's going on YouTube? All it takes is a quick drive down any road in America to see that pickups are our preferred method of transportation here. Once upon a time, they were used primarily for utilitarian purposes, but nowadays there is a battle for who can make the best luxury truck. For the past several years, that luxury king was the Ram 1500 Limited. Now GMC is ready to fight back with the introduction of the Sierra Denali Ultimate. So is this now the ultimate luxury truck, or does the Ram still have the crown? Let's go ahead and find out. Now before we really start to dig in, let's talk pricing and equipment levels. These are undisputably luxury trucks, so the prices are eye-watering, even compared to a few years ago. Starting with the Ram 1500, we have the Limited trim, which is already extremely nice, but even more so after optioning on over $15,000 of additional equipment. Because prices have increased for 2023, we come in just under $85,000 all in. Now, even as eye-watering as that price seems, the Sierra Denali Ultimate sets the standard for pricing. It starts out far more expensive than the Ram, but it also comes standard with pretty much everything. After destination, that brings its total to $85,140, which is within spitting distance of the Ram. Alright, so let's get going here first with the exterior designs and features. Obviously, these two have basically nothing in common with the more basic work versions, with plenty of bling to let others know you spent big bucks. The front of the new Sierra Denali Ultimate takes all the chrome from the regular Denali and finishes it in a special darker Vader chrome. The Ram has a large satin silver grille with classy details in the middle, but it also can be blacked out if you prefer. As far as lighting, both have advanced LED headlights and fog lights. Moving to the side, both are only available in crew cab short bed configurations for the top trims. And both also come equipped with elaborate and distinct looking 22-inch alloy wheels. As far as the rear looks, again you have premium designs and elements like LED taillights, exposed dual exhaust outlets, and premium tailgates. And that's where we will start to move into the individual features. There's been a lot of innovation in this area over the last few years. So in the Ram, we have the split function tailgate and the multi-pro gate in the GMC. The Sierra's version has 6 different modes, including a step, so it's a bit more functional than the Ram's, which just splits in half. The 1500 does offer a full down step for bed access, but the Sierra has a built-in step in the bumper and a backwards moving power running board for side access. Once inside, the beds are lined, we have LED lighting and power outlets. A neat feature the Denali includes is a kicker audio system built into the tailgate for ultimate tailgating. Moving past that aspect, both models have fully loaded mirrors with heating, power folding, auto dimming, and blind spot monitoring. And as far as all the other safety systems, GMC includes all the active ones as standard equipment, such as lane keeping assist and adaptive cruise control, while our Ram also has them via the Level 1 equipment group. However, the Sierra still has one extra feature beyond what the Ram has, and that's the fact that it has Super Cruise, which is GM's hands-free highway driving system. That system does work even while towing, by the way, and speaking of that, both models can handle about 12,000 pounds. So that's it for the exterior, but now let's see which interior is going to blow your mind the most before we take them out for a drive. So walking up to the trucks, both are obviously going to have smart entry systems with integrated remote start, and they have power running boards for extra convenience. But open up those doors and take in the Mercedes-like interiors. They are elaborately appointed spaces, starting with the seats themselves. In the Ram, we have black or blue premium stitched leather, and in the GMC, we have the Alpine Umber brown leather with stitching, piping, and badging. Both seats are heated and ventilated. However, the Sierra has more ways of adjustment and power massaging abilities. But let's get inside and evaluate the overall materials. It's hard to convey just how nicely these cabins are executed, with all the commonly touched areas smothered in real leather, real open pore wood, and aluminum. Additionally, both have elaborate stitching details and laser engraved wood in the case of the Denali. Now after startup, the updated 2023 Ram 1500 adds a 12.3-inch full digital gauge cluster, which matches what the Sierra has. Both also have large head-up displays. Of course, it pretty much goes without saying that both steering wheels are heated and leather-wrapped, but the Ram's is not power adjusting. Oppositely, it's only the Ram that has power adjusting pedals. Now the next area to evaluate is interior storage, where both are enormous. However, the Ram is positively cavernous. Since this shifter is not on the center console, that allows the entire area to be a multifunctional storage area. Now speaking of the shifters, both are electronic ones, and when in reverse, both give you 360-degree camera systems. Alrighty, now that brings us to the audio systems, so let's go ahead and sample them. The Ultimate's Bose sound system is very good, but the Ram's HK is fantastic and has excellent richness. But now let's go ahead and check out the mega screens. The Ram's massive 12.3-inch display spent a few years as the undisputed king, but now the GMC has actually exceeded it with a 13.4-inch display. Even though they're oriented in opposite ways, that's about 8% more real estate. Software-wise, they both have the latest versions, which include things as wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as well as built-in navigation. Finally, ending the front areas, these luxury trucks have rear camera mirrors, but the Sierra is still not available with a panoramic sunroof. But the luxury does not stop in the front, and to be honest, in many ways, the back seats are the place to be. They both offer absolutely cavernous accommodations, with limo-like headroom and legroom dimensions that are less than 5% apart. Materials from the front follow through to the back, and they are loaded with amenities such as rear vents, USB ports, and a household power outlet. Both of their seats are heated. However, the Ram has a couple class-exclusive advantages, since its back seats are also ventilated and they have the ability to recline. The Ram also has the advantage as far as storage cubbies are concerned, since it has some storage hidden underneath the floor. So this is still a tight race leaving the interiors, so now let's see who can pull off the win out on the streets. Now these two have been very different throughout this video, but we do have some similarities under the hood. While both offer a choice of V8s, we have the turbo diesels as equipped. In the Sierra, it has been updated for 2023 to have 10% more power, which also means it's more powerful than the Ram. So that was a little quick punch of the accelerator. As you can see, we're going into a red light. But power is pretty good here with the turbo diesel. That's right, we actually have the turbo diesel model, which is available as two of your choices. So you got the 6.2 or the turbo diesel for Denali Ultimate, and then the standard Denali also has the 5.3 liter. 65 miles per hour with this Eco Diesel Ram 1500 Limited. So this is actually the first time that Mason and I have been behind the wheel of the Eco Diesel version. So this is certainly interesting. Really nice feeling torque is what I noticed right off the bat. It really pushes you back in the seat. As far as the transmissions are concerned, both have very smooth and well-calibrated 8 and 10-speed automatics respectively. So let's talk about the other aspect of the powertrain, and that will be your transmission. So this has the 8-speed automatic like the other engine options for this Ram. Really nice transmission, like I said in the past. It just shifts really smooth, and it also gives you power delivery as soon as you need it. So when you put your foot down, it's ready to go and give you that extra oomph that you're demanding. Yeah, tons of torque for sure. Let's go ahead and talk about the other aspect of the powertrain. So, paired with both engines will be a 10-speed automatic transmission. We've said it in the past. In many other General Motors applications we've sampled over many weeks of time. This is a really good transmission. They've done a great job of tuning this for their truck models. It's very responsive, it's very smooth, it doesn't seem confused or anything like that, and it gives you the power that you need when you put your foot down. That's all you can really ask for with the transmission. But perhaps more important than the power is ride quality. Now make no mistake, the Denali Ultimate still rides very nicely, but it is no match for the Ram's class-exclusive air suspension. Its ride quality is more on par with luxury SUVs from Mercedes than the typical truck. Plus, it also helps with increased ground clearance off-road and less clearance when entering the cabin or hooking up a trailer.
But just kind of cruising along here, I do want to talk about your ride quality, because I think that's probably a very important part of anyone who buys a Sierra Denali, because if you're going for the Denali, you want it to be a very luxurious experience. You're kind of buying a luxury truck, and it does a really, really good job, guys. Just cruising down on this flat stretch of highway, it is so smooth. The seats are really comfortable. I'm just really enjoying the ride quality. Now, we do not have a full air suspension available on the Sierra like the Ram 1500, but we do still have adaptive dampers that are standard on the Denali model, and the adaptive dampers do a really good job. It's not as good as a full air suspension, but I'd say it's about 75% there.
Well, we're starting to cruise down the highway, so it's a good time to lead into what is probably one of the biggest advantages that the Ram 1500 has over the competition, and that's just this overall level of comfort. This, as we mentioned on the outside, has an air suspension. That's something that, as of right now, you cannot get with the competition, and it makes a huge difference. This does. Air suspensions are usually reserved for high-end luxury brand products, and the reason why is because it's just so comfortable, so refined in here. We're going down the highway, you don't feel road imperfections. Of course, you can adjust the height, which we mentioned on the outside. There's a lot of advantages to having an air suspension.
Yeah, and just the overall luxury experience and ride quality in here is absolutely phenomenal. I would give it the best in the class ride quality award. I think for sure it's so much less bouncy. It has just a really nice feel to it.
And as far as sound insulation, we tested both of them on pretty smooth roads at 55 miles per hour, and the Sierra came out ahead in this regard at 55 versus 57 decibels.
Nice.
Yeah, plenty of power.
Now that we're up a little bit past 55, let's
make sure I get it to 55. It's very, very windy today, by the way, guys.
Yeah. 55.6 is what we were settling in at. Honestly, considering how windy it is today, I think that's a very, very, very good reading. .56 even on the decibel reading. That's really solid. Most luxury cars we test are 55, so that's a good reference point for you. This is pretty much luxury territory for this Ram.
Finally, when it comes to fuel economy, the Ram does beat the Sierra in this regard. Well guys, that's where we're going to wrap up this comparison video. As you saw throughout the video, this was a very close one, and both will blow your mind if you haven't been in a modern pickup truck for a few years. But as always, we want to know what you guys think. Head down to the comment section below and let us know which luxury truck you think should be king of the hill. If you enjoyed this comparison, we'd really appreciate it if you'd help us out by subscribing, so we can make more comparison videos like these, as well as full reviews, auto show coverage, and more. We'll see you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.